taken at the weekly Executive Council meeting hosted by the Tobago House of Assembly. Now addressing the media this week is the Secretary of the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy, as well as the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor, Assemblyman Marcelin Melville Jack. I now invite Mrs. Jack to make her presentation.
Good afternoon, members of the listening and viewing public. Good afternoon to members of the media. This afternoon, I will be providing you with updates from the Division of Education, Innovation and Energy, as well as the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development and Labor. On Wednesday, October 20th, 2021, the Ministry of Education announced that all students of Forms 4 to 6, regardless of their vaccination status, would be required to attend school for face-to-face teaching and learning from Monday, October 25th, 2021. Schools were required to suspend online classes or synchronous sessions for these students, since they were all expected to attend school physically. Schools were encouraged to use this time to place special emphasis on the completion of practicals and school-based assessments in preparation for CSEC and CAPE examinations in 2022. The Project Implementation Unit at the Division of Education took specific steps to ensure that all secondary schools on the island were assessed and prepared for the return of these students. Additionally, all other appropriate infrastructure to assist with mitigating the spread of the deadly COVID-19 virus have been installed across all school compounds. The team at PIU will continue to work with all contractors to ensure that all infrastructural upgrades to schools are completed within this school term. The Division of Education continues to be guided by the directives of the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Health as it pertains to school reopenings. Students of Forms 1 to 3 are scheduled to return to physical school in January 2022, which is term 2 of the academic year 2021-2022. However, these students will remain engaged in remote learning until otherwise advised. On Monday, October 25th, 2021, I was joined by a team of technical staff from the division to ensure that the physical arrangements at each school adequately facilitated students in the face-to-face environment. 6 secondary schools were visited to observe their operations, as well as to provide words of encouragement and support to students and staff. Preliminary data received on day 1 from school administrators indicated that student and teacher turnout averaged 59% and 78% respectively. I wish to commend all the students who displayed their social responsibility by adhering to the school's established health protocols. I wish to also thank the parents who realized the educational benefits to be accrued by their children's return to physical interactions at school. Our teachers must also be praised for managing the delivery of the curriculum through a variety of modalities to keep their students engaged in this constantly changing teaching-learning environment. Students, please be reminded that we are still operating within the confines of a pandemic. Therefore, all students are required to continue adhering to the established protocols. Wash your hands, wear your mask, and watch your distance. The division remains committed to providing both teachers and students with a safe school environment and will collaborate with all our stakeholders to provide the required support. I now turn my attention to the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development, and Labor. I begin with the Business Development Unit. The Tobago House of Assembly, through the Business Development Unit of the Division of Community Development, Enterprise Development, and Labor, sought to directly address the negative impacts of COVID-19 on small businesses on the island through our loan and grant programs. To assist in the stabilization and in some instances the recovery of businesses that were failing, the Executive Council increased the limit of the grants from $25,000 to a maximum of $50,000, and the loan limit was increased from $250,000 to a maximum of $500,000. Additionally, the prolonged negative impact of the COVID-19 pandemic prompted the Executive Council to provide additional grants to entrepreneurs involved in the ancillary service sector of the tourism industry in Tobago, which was hardest hit. This much-needed relief was provided from March 2020 and has been approved to continue until December 31st, 2021. Let me take this opportunity to thank all applicants for their patience in waiting to receive their approved funds. The entire process became very onerous with a large, unexpected number of applications and a delay in the requested funding. We are, however, pleased that over the last 18 months, the Business Development Unit, through the Tobago House of Assembly, has provided assistance to businessmen in the following amounts: 19 loans totaling just let me get that figure for you. $3.264 million, 455 grants, totaling $13.7 million, 50 tourism grants, totaling $2.98 million. In total, 524 businesses benefited from a total disbursement of $19.95 million. These funds were dispersed to entrepreneurs in 10 major sectors: tourism, retail, agro-processing, agriculture, fishing, craft, food and beverage, light manufacturing, and the service industry. The onset of the COVID-19 pandemic ushered in the need for our Community Development Department to provide an effective vehicle to deliver our vocational skills classes, which are skills-based and technical in nature. The division's first ever virtual vocational skills program commenced on 8th March 2021 and concluded on the 8th of September 2021. This program had approximately 368 participants who are scheduled to graduate after 6 months of training. 22 courses were offered virtually in 19 skilled areas. The courses offered were air conditioning and refrigeration, bag making, bread cakes and pastry, balloon craft, cake decorating, digital photography, drapery and soft furnishings, entrepreneurship, events decoration, floral arrangement, food preparation, garment construction, makeup artistry, and modern wine making. There was also mixology, nail tech, natural jewelry, soaps, candles, and body lotions, and seasonal cooking. The approved budget for this program was approximately $680,000. In order to facilitate the effective delivery of these classes via the use of online platforms, approximately 25 tutors and supporting staff were trained at a cost of $30,800. Laptops and other supporting equipment were provided at a cost of $45,500, and this was to ensure that our high standard of delivery was maintained. A gala virtual graduation ceremony is scheduled for the 9th of November 2021 as part of our Community Development Week celebrations. Participants in these programs will be afforded the opportunity to showcase their designs and creations virtually. All successful participants who completed courses will be awarded with certificates of participation based on satisfactory completion of the stipulated contact hours. I will now share with you a little bit of Community Development Week 2021. The hosting of this annual event, which commenced in 2018, will be held from the 8th of November to the 12th of November 2021. Our theme for this year's Community Development Week is Celebrating Our Resilience, as we seek to cautiously emerge from the challenges of the global pandemic. Our main objective is to encourage strong community bonds and to inculcate a sense of community pride among our citizens. This is also an opportunity to retool and reskill for the dynamic social and economic climate, to show appreciation for volunteerism among community leaders, and to showcase the division's work within communities. This week of activities will begin with a Thanksgiving service on Monday, 8 November from 9 a.m. and a hamper distribution within communities from 1 p.m. that afternoon. On Tuesday, November 9th, there will be the Vocational Skills Achievement graduation ceremony at 5 p.m. in the afternoon. On Wednesday, November 10th, there will be a webinar entitled Business Continuity in the Construction Sector During a Pandemic, and this will run from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. On Thursday, November 11th, the topic is Survival Skills, and this seminar will be held from 10 a.m. in the morning, and in the afternoon from 5 p.m., our Gala Community Champion Awards. On Friday, November 12th, we end the week with a Gala Business Expo, and their theme is Thriving in a Pandemic. This will run at the division's headquarters from 9 a.m. and an island-wide treasure hunt from 8 a.m. that very morning. Please note, all indoor activities will take place at the division's conference hall and would be streamed live in keeping with the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 guidelines. I therefore wish to encourage you all to tune in and participate fully in what promises to be an exciting and enriching experience. Members of the viewing public, members of the media, I thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Jack. Members of the media, You are now allowed to ask questions. Remember, once you have a question to pose to Assemblyman Mrs. Marcelin Melville Jack, just indicate by raising your virtual hand. Clayton Clark, Radio Tambrin. Good afternoon, Clayton.
Hello, good day, Miss. Good afternoon, Clayton Clark, Radio Tambrin. Good afternoon to you, Miss Chambers and Mrs. Jack.
Good afternoon, Clayton.
Yes, my question with regards to the opening of schools, the Tobago, let's give us an update on the lab, because tutors, amidst the criticism, seem to be quite happy with the work done at labs across the island. And secondly, I don't know if this matter was raised in Tobago, but there are some parents in Trinidad who have expressed concern, the parents of children who are vaccinated have expressed concern about their children interacting with those who are not vaccinated. I don't know if it was raised in Tobago. What is, if any, concern about that has been brought to the division's attention?
Well, let me start off, Clayton, by thanking the officers of the PIU unit and our contractors who worked day and night to ensure that most of the work in the labs were completed. I, too, like the tutor representative, am very satisfied, and that is why I can assure that the labs, the conditions at the labs, will be completed fully in this first term. To your second question, we have received no complaints at this time from any parent. No principal has shared it, nor was it shared with the administrator or myself. So at this time, all I can say is that the students are extremely happy to be back out at school, and I share that joy because I know that the best experience for our children is really the face-to-face interaction.
Elizabeth Williams, TV6 News. Good afternoon, Elizabeth.
Hi, good afternoon, Madam Secretary.
Good afternoon, Liz.
Good afternoon. Yeah, what I wanted to know is tutor also staying on with the tutor. Tutor representative, Mr. Braden Roberts, he would have highlighted the issue of social distancing and also some students not wearing their masks properly. He did indicate that, teachers cannot be everywhere. But in terms of the wearing of the mask at schools, and I would have noticed at one particular school, some of the children on the roadway, some were not even wearing their masks. But what advice or what is the Division of Education doing to assist in that venture? And my other question, I don't know if you saw your name in the newspapers, but your name was in the Express newspaper, pull out with a number of other THA officials of either side, the PDP and also the PNM, in terms of failing to file your declaration of income for the year ending December 31st, 2020. Could you give us an update on this matter, or are you aware of this?
Thank you for both questions, Liz. The first question, as it relates to the wearing of masks, I really don't know if they were putting on a show for me, but every school I visited, I was really pleased at the level of mask wearing. Even during break time, I was at one of the schools during the break, and the students were neatly lined up on their stickers, wearing their mask, waiting to be served at the cafeteria. I saw complete compliance to mask wearing. But it is something that students need to be reminded of at all times. Because, even as adults, sometimes it's a little oppressive for us and we will take it off for a little minute and then put it back on. And at one of the other schools, what I experienced is that over the intercom, the principal and other members of staff were constantly airing messages. I heard them while I was there, of the health protocols that should be observed on the school compound. Now, when the students are on the street again, they cannot be controlled by the division or their teachers, but we do expect that they too will understand the seriousness of the situation that we are in at this point in time. The fact that we are integrating all through the island with people who are vaccinated and not vaccinated, and COVID-19 is real. So all I can do is once again appeal to students, as I did just a little while ago. Continue to wear your mask, wash your hands, and keep your distance. As it relates to your second question, I am aware I saw someone sent me a clip of that. And I know at this point in time that we are, and well, let me speak for myself. I am guilty of not having yet submitted my returns for 2020. And, you know, that was because we picked those forms up very late from the Assembly legislature. And as I speak, I am trying to get the financial institutions to return, you know, the information so that the form can be completed. And as soon as it is completed, it will be sent. I am not delinquent. I have been doing this since 2017, and this is the first year that I have experienced this kind of delay. So know for sure that it will be done as soon as I receive the responses from the financial institutions.
Do we have any more questions from members of the media? Tobago Channel 5, good afternoon.
Shakin here from Tobago Channel 5. I'm trying to get some clarification on some numbers. Initially, especially as it related to the eligible school population to be vaccinated, initially we were told that there were on or about 6,000 eligible school students that can be vaccinated. However, yesterday, when the Secretary of Health indicated her numbers, and based on our numbers, she said 51% of the eligible school population has been vaccinated. And when she gave the number, it implied that there are only on or about 4,000 students eligible for vaccination. Could somebody clarify those numbers for me, please?
Well, at this point, is that your only question? I'm sorry.
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, at this point, I can say that the Secretary may have made a mistake, but our numbers would be just under 6,000. And at this point, I think we have vaccinated about 2,500, close to that figure. Does that help?
And when you say vaccinated 2,500, that would be one shot, is it? Because
that will be one shot. All right, and that will be one shot. And I can always get the exact figures back to you. I don't have them on me at this point in time. So I can get that for you and I can send it at a later date. But I know that we are very close to the same number for the second shot.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Clayton Clark, Radio Tambrin. Hello again, Clayton.
Yes, good afternoon again.
Good afternoon again, Clayton.
Okay, well, my question, yes, was some clarification on the numbers. How is the uptake of, does the division could give a figure of how many students have been vaccinated as well as teachers?
We do not keep data on teachers because teachers are part of the adult population. Okay, the division has never kept numbers on teachers. We have numbers on students, which, as I just said to Tobago Channel 5, I will send to you as soon as I get offset, because I get them daily. I don't have my phone with me. Okay, so I can forward that information to you as soon as I get offset.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have any more questions from members of the media? If there aren't any more questions on that note, we'll bring this week's edition of Post-Executive Media Briefing to an end. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Assemblyman Marcelin Melville-Jack, for your presentation. Thank you, members of the media, for your questions. And thank you, our viewing audience, for always tuning in. I'm Davia Chambers saying have a great afternoon, and please remember to stay safe.